Oh, hi friends. Welcome to my Not a Sewing vlog. I'm your hostess, Emily. Once again, it's super hot in my home, so I'm fanning myself with a fan because whenever I try to turn my box fan on, it just makes this kind of white noise, droning noise in the background of my videos that I do not enjoy. And I assume you do not enjoy either. So I'm just hand fanning it whenever I get overheated, which I think is fine. And also I think it's, well, I mean, it's not that noisy and I don't think it detracts too much from the filming. Maybe it does. I don't know. You can let me know. So it felt really strange this week. Since last week I filmed like 4 hour-long videos in a row and then posted them. This week I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. What is that thing I am supposed to be doing? Is it filming? No, I don't have to film every day right now. But it still felt like I kind of should have or something, but I didn't. But today is Wednesday and I'm filming. Do you want to hear about today's drama? Well, actually, the drama that's been going on for the past couple of days. For a week, I've had these really kind of crazy symptoms. I've been getting like sick to my stomach the same time at night, and some like kind of lower back pains, and what were all my symptoms? I can't even remember now that I'm filming. But anyway, and this is TMI, just warning you. My period that was supposed to start on Sunday, and I usually get like PMS and cramps and stuff Saturday. Nothing. So today, Wednesday, day 4 of Miss Period, I'm like, okay, I think I need to go take a pregnancy test. And I've been thinking about this because my period is pretty darn regular. Like, I have an app that I track my period on, and when it says my period's going to start, it starts. I'm not going to go into my lifestyle or what I use or don't use, but I use natural methods of regulation and whatnot. Anyway, because a lot of my medications and also one of my medical issues has issues with most birth controls. So I have to regulate things in a different way. Anyway, TMI, like I said, TMI. Anyway, so I'm taking this, I do the birth control thing, and I put it in the bathroom and set it on the counter, and I leave the bathroom. I shut the bathroom door, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be the longest 3 minutes ever. If you are new to my vlog, very, very quick, I will catch you up. I stopped counting at, I think, 7 miscarriages. I've had more than that. I have a couple of different medical issues. I'm not going to go into all of them, but combined, they are commonly referred to in layman's terms as hostile womb syndrome, which basically means that when I do get pregnant at some point during the first trimester, my body says, what is this? What is this foreign object? It's not supposed to be there. And it attacks it and gets rid of it. So basically my body is missing the part of its brain that tells it that when the egg connects, it's supposed to be there. Anyway, and I'm not going to answer questions. I'm not going to, And please know that I have heard everything from everyone. This is not a in vitro type situation, because in vitro wouldn't work, because it's not a problem getting pregnant. I am very fertile. It's a problem staying pregnant. And also it's a, and then other avenues and options we've looked into, and those working out or not are a private issue between handsome hubby and me. Obviously, I talk about lots of things with everybody on my vlog, but there are some things I don't talk about. So just so you know, I'm just catching up anyone who's not caught up. That's where we are. So the idea of getting pregnant, especially at my age, which is, and with all my medical conditions and stuff. And when I say medical conditions, I mean, obviously it's one of them is I am overweight, which people are like, is that a medical condition or are you just, you know, lazy? It's both. Hey, you're going to get 100% honesty from me on this vlog, because this vlog is not just me sharing my life and my hobbies with the world. This is also a little bit of a journal for me. Like this is me existing in the world for me. And it's a little bit of both. It is a medical condition. One of the medical conditions I have, my thyroid disorder, makes it incredibly easy to gain weight, especially in certain situations. Both medical and mental situations, stress and cortisol levels and all sorts of things can also cause, anyway, it's incredibly easy for me to gain weight, and it's incredibly hard for me to lose weight. But I am also, I hate the word lazy. I am lazy, but I hate the word lazy. I think I prefer to say I am disinclined to exercise that is exercise for the sake of exercise. Like, I wish I were into sports sometimes. If I was into a sport, I mean, then I'd get tons of exercise going and playing soccer, or being on a rowing team, or I don't know, sword fighting. I used to do some sword fighting with the SCA ages ago. You know, I get exercise doing that, but it's also, I'm also fulfilling like a hobby that I love to do and stuff. But every time I try to exercise where it's like, I'm getting in my steps because I'm supposed to do it, or I'm exercising for the sake of exercising, the whole time I'm like, I'm miserable. I hate this. This is dumb. And it's not, because it's your health, and your health is not dumb. Your health is the most important thing you have. It's this brain thing I'm trying to overcome, and I'm still trying to overcome it. I also don't eat great. Now, I am not eating like entire bags of chips and stuff at home. No, but I hate to cook. So we do a lot of takeout that we shouldn't do. I also don't eat, which my doctor is trying to work with me with, because apparently if you don't eat, when you do eat, your body is like, oh no, you're starving, and it saves everything. I wake up in the morning sometimes and I just forget to eat breakfast. And then I'm like, I know it's lunchtime, but I'm just really thirsty and I'm doing this thing over here, and I forget to eat lunch. And then dinner comes around. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm starving to death. And I like shovel in a gigantic dinner, and my body's like, oh, she must be starving. Wow, that was a giant tangent. I didn't mean to go on. Anyway, so we have now talked about my inability to have babies and my weight. I did not mean to talk about either of those exactly, but anyway. So where did I leave us off? Oh yeah. Have you been waiting very patiently to hear the outcome of my pregnancy test? It was negative, just so you know. And I was like, but I'll tell you, during those 3 minutes, I was like reorganizing our lives. I was like, okay, so how would we afford childcare, and what am I going to do? I hate, like, what are the new kid shows? I hate Teletubbies. And like, how am I going to, do I have to join like parenting groups? And public school seems really scary, but I can't homeschool. I'm not smart enough to homeschool. Have you seen the new math? Ugh, old math. I couldn't do old math. How am I going to do new math? Plus, if I homeschool them, are they going to like get enough socialization? And oh my gosh. And in 3 minutes, I had like seen this child's life all the way through, both boy and girl. And then like, what if it's a girl who just, feels that she should be a he, or a he that feels they should be a she? Or what if it's a they them, and I forget their pronouns and they hate me? Or what if they're gay, or what if they're bi and I get confused about who they're dating? And what if, oh my gosh, and when I walked back in that bathroom sobbing and saw that it was negative, I kept crying because I was really sad that I wasn't pregnant. I was trying to explain this to handsome hubby, because he was like, wait, aren't we relieved that you're not pregnant? Because first of all, we're not financially stable enough to have a baby. And I was like, don't you remember what people say? And he's like, yes, I know. If you wait until you're financially stable enough to have a baby, you will never have a baby. Like, get a child, have a child. You will never have a child. Yes, I'm sitting on the table. I have no explanation for that. It's here. I'm sitting on it. But we just, we need to be more financially stable. If you've been following along, you know that. He's like, and second of all, it's really like hard on you, because every time I lose one, a little piece of my soul dies. I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not, because this is not what this video is supposed to be about, people. Sometimes that's why my vlogs are organic. And I've had some people tell me that they really like that they're organic. I don't know if that's entirely true, but these are not. Sometimes I write some notes to remind myself what I want to talk about, but they're like one word to like a sentence to remind myself what I want to talk about. I do not script these videos. They just happen. No, I don't want to get emotional, and I don't want to cry. Some days I am so perfectly fine with the idea of never having kids, because I found the love of my life and the relationship of my life later in life. And, we weren't a cute little early 20s couple who, had all the energy and the, and all the peer pressure to have kids when you're younger and have more energy. And then when you have them when you're younger, they grow up, and then you still have all these great older years together. I mean, if we had a kid right now, by the time they're my age, I'm going to be in my 80s, by the time they're 20, I'm going to be like retirement age or something. Okay, I don't actually do math. That's not quite right, but it's close. It's around there. I mean, I don't know. And so most days I am perfectly fine and happy, but every now and then there is a moment in a day where I'm like, who am I going to pass this down to? Or who am I going to share that with? Or who's going to remember this about me? Who am I going to twirl with? I'm having a moment, folks. I heard if you look up and blink, it helps you not cry. So, I'm not sure if it's working. I don't know if it's working. Okay. Anyway, so, took way too long to say not pregnant. That's over with. So I was trying to figure out other reasons why all of this is happening, and I'm pretty sure it's stress. I think it's all stress related because I am like this close to getting a job. There is a lady from an HR department, a job I've been applying for, has been back and forth emailing me for a couple of days, and I discovered something that I think has been the problem with me not getting a job for like the entire year since I graduated from college. Yeah, I'm totally going to wipe my nose on something in front of you again. This is a towel in my wash pile over here because I've been doing laundry. And I was going to keep my dirty laundry out of sight, and then I just pick it up, and yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Anyway, more dirty laundry. I discovered, she said, when she first emailed me, she said, hey, your references are really old. Do you have newer references? And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm going to need some newer references. And I realized my job references are 4 years old. Sorry, I'm going to be gross and wipe my nose again. Ugh. No more crying on videos. Oh, stop. Are 4 years old. They're from before I moved to Washington, just before when I quit my full-time job of 6 years to move to Washington 4 years ago. And then I became a full-time college student to get my degree, and then COVID hit, and I was too scared to get a job where I'd have to go into the workplace. So I did look for some online jobs, and my handsome hubby just said, you know what, just keep going, finish your degree. So that's what I did. I spent 3 years and got my bachelor's degree. And then I've spent a year trying to find a job. And now I think that the reason why, at least a strong reason why I haven't been able to get a job is because my references are all like 3 to 4 years old while I've been applying to these jobs. And they're like, they want something newer, but this is the first time someone has told me this. So I've been trying to get referrals from like this part-time job I did with a murder mystery company as an actress, and also as when I volunteered to teach a class at Costume College, because apparently volunteering can also work as a referral. They might accept it as a referral. So fingers crossed for me, please. I kind of got a little sad at something a friend of mine said this past week, and well, I'll tell you that in a minute. First of all, I finally saw the Barbie movie. Yeah, I know, I finally saw it. I saw the Barbie movie this past weekend. It was really cute. Me and 2 of my girlfriends and handsome hubby, who surprisingly also wanted to see the Barbie movie because he read a bunch of stuff about it. We all went to see the Barbie movie, and us girls all dressed in pink dresses, and handsome hubby was like, I don't own anything pink. And I was like, you don't need to wear pink to the Barbie movie. And he's like, well, don't I have anything? And I finally was able to find, he has this kind of pastel, what is it called? Tie-dye. He has this like pastel tie-dye shirt he got from a Comic-Con one year. And I was like, that has pink in it. And it's like pastel color, so it's kind of beach looking. And so he wore that. Anyway, I really liked it. The Barbie movie is so many things. I actually felt kind of overwhelmed by it by the time it was over. I was like, whoa, because It's got a lot of very superficial stuff in it that's just cutesy and fun. And then it also has like existential crisis stuff going on. And oh, hang on, my dog is okay. Sorry. George has been acting up a little bit today. I think it's because I did a Facebook live earlier today for this jewelry I sell. Not going into that at all, just saying. And so I told him he had to go lay down, be quiet. And then like I took an hour break and then I was like, okay, now I have to make my video. Go lay down, be quiet. And I think he got to his point where he's like, excuse me, mother, I need your attention now because daddy's upstairs playing video games and you need to pay attention to me right now. So I basically gave him some of his food and gave him some pets and loves and belly scratches, and he seems to be doing a little better now. So let's hope he doesn't come back begging, because he'll sit like right here and he'll look up at me, and if I don't pay attention to him, then he jumps up on my skirt. That wouldn't be as big a problem, but this skirt, the top layer is netting with these beautiful iridescent butterflies. But it's netting, and his like nails, like the little parts of it. Anyway, yeah, I don't want him to jump up on this skirt. So I think he might be pacified for the moment. I have no idea what I was talking about. Barbie. Oh yeah. So it was, parts of it were just like superficially cute, you know, I'm Barbie. And I loved so many of the clothes. I was like, okay, I need to make that dress and that skirt and that outfit. And some of the Barbies were adorable, amazing, and just so fun, so cute. The Kens, oh my gosh. Just so cute. And then the whole existential crisis thing, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done to my own dolls? You know, thinking about this and stuff. And here's a spoiler. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to say it, but it's like, so America Ferrera's character does a speech. She gives Barbie a speech about women and what women have to deal with every moment of every day. And I'm sitting in the theater next to, I've got my friends, my two girlfriends on one side and my handsome husband on the other. And this speech just completely caught me off guard. And the next thing I know, I'm listening and I am like openly sobbing. And handsome hubby like squeezed my hand. He like leaned over and was like, what's wrong? I was like, no, like do not interrupt this. And I just sat there and just sobbed while she talked, because I mean, it's all true. It's so true. It's exhausting being a woman, because every moment of every day, everything bombards us. In fact, our own brain is a traitor to us. And I read this article once that men can literally think about nothing sometimes. Like, their brains can literally be empty. Like, they can sit there and think about nothing at all. Like, there is no like conscious thought going on in their head. I can't even go lay down. No, go lay down. I love you. Just not right now. I love you. Just lay down. They can't, like, as a woman, I can't even conceive of that. We have at least like 5 to 6 thoughts going on in our head at one time. Usually more. I mean, just so much juggling around in our brains. The idea of being able to just sit and actually not be thinking of anything at all. Wow. It must be amazing. It also explains why sometimes when you're like, hey, what do you think about? And they're like, nothing. And you're like, no, it's true. Sometimes guys just like, it's like the line on that machine at the hospital that's like the heart tracker or the brain waves or whatever. Like when it just goes, that's what their brain is doing. That's what their thoughts are doing. Their thoughts are just like, they just like zoned out. That's what zoning out is for men. Zoning out for women means we've got 25 thoughts going on in our head at one time, and we just can't, like, we can't people because there's too many thoughts going on in our head. When men zone out, there's no thoughts going on. It's amazing. I can't even fathom. So lucky. Anyway, there is a lot in that movie. I'm not really going to go into the rest of it because everyone's entitled to their opinions, and I just do not want to go there. But there is a lot in that movie. If you have not seen it, I think you probably should. I really do. I think you should. I think it's important. I think it's a really important movie. And I think more movies like this should be made to help people, especially men, understand what it is to be a woman. You know, lately there's been a lot of questions about what does it mean to be a woman. I think that the speech by America Ferrera answered it. It's not necessarily all of this. It's all of this. All of this up here is what it means to be a woman. And it is not always fun. It's rarely fun. Anyway. After the movie, before the movie, sometime around the movie. Anyway, me and my girlfriends were talking about ideas and costuming and stuff. And one of my friends had asked me, you know, hey, what are your costuming plans and whatnot? And I said something that comes out of my mouth a lot when I'm asked that question, or anytime I make comments about my costuming plans. It's always something along the lines of, well, I need to get my house cleaned up and my sewing room, you know, cleaned up and organized before I can really jump into, you know, my, new projects. And my friend kind of, very sweetly and kindly, I can't remember the exact words, but basically what she said was, yeah, we hear that from you all the time and it never happens. And I was taken aback a little bit, kind of like, oh, okay. And it hurt my feel bads just a little, you know. I was like, oh. And then, you know, I really thought about it. I was like, yeah, I do. I say that all the time. Because unfortunately, it's true. My house has been, my sewing room has overflowed into my house because I keep trying to organize my sewing room. And the best way I have figured out is to pull lots of the stuff out of my sewing room so that I can dig around in it and try to organize it. But that has just put stuff, there's stuff in my hallway upstairs. There's stuff in my bedroom. There's stuff on the landing of my stairs. There's stuff in this kind of dining area in my house. There's stuff in my living room. There is sewing room stuff all over my house. Not very fair to handsome hubby or to puppy George. And it causes me a lot of stress. So I was like, all right, obviously this amount of stuff isn't going to get handled overnight. And the reason why it doesn't get handled that often is because there's so much that is just overwhelming. And so I'm like, all right, I need to tackle this. Never mind, I'm going to do something else instead, you know, because I just get overwhelmed. So I looked up a bunch of organizing, best ways to start organizing, how to organize big projects, you know, what to do when you feel overwhelmed and need to clean, what to do when you're overwhelmed and need to organize. And I found something that I think is working for me. I have been doing it every day this week so far, and I am chipping away at the stuff. Basically, what I do is I pick a section, a pile, a something. So, for example, the very first day on Monday, after doing some research, there's this chair over here that has been piled higher than the back of the chair with stuff. There was a box, there were fabrics, there was clothes, there was just stuff on it. So I told myself, my goal right now, don't look at anything else, my goal right now is this chair. I'm going to empty this chair. And that's what I worked on. I just worked on the chair. Clothes either went into the dirty clothes or they went up into the bedroom and I put them away. Costume pieces went upstairs, either into the sewing room or into a costume pieces pile I made in the sewing room. This is costumes, this is accessories. The box turned out to be this big box that was taking all this room on this chair. Yeah, it was empty. I didn't even know that. The top was all folded up and everything. It was an Amazon box. Completely empty. Didn't even know. Have no idea how long it's been sitting there. Couple months probably. So I unfolded it, cut it open so it could go flat, and added it to our recycling pile. I think it took me maybe an hour to clear off that chair because I carefully took everything where it needed to go and put it away. And then the chair was completely cleared off and you could sit in it. And I stared at that chair and was like, the chair is clean. I accomplished something. This works for me. So that's what I've been doing. I've been like, this chair is my goal right now. This pile is my goal right now. This section of floor is my goal right now. That right there is my goal right now. And very slowly for the past few days, I have been picking apart and digging through piles and getting things done. It is very slow, the progress. And, you know, you're not seeing huge changes, but I am seeing small changes. I'm seeing piles suddenly gone. I'm seeing open spots suddenly there. And if I can keep this up, which I think I can, it's going to be good. When I'm done, I'm still going to have a messy sewing room that I'm going to have to figure out the organization for, but I will have my house back and I will have my sewing space down here on the dining table that we never use. I will have that back. So those are my goals. I told you about my autumn themed bustle dress that I have been planning for years, and I'm finally going to be getting that done. I also have, I have a bunch of stuff I want to do. It's so hard to narrow it down. It really is so hard to narrow it down. Especially since autumn it's one of my favorite, seasons, but I feel like it's one of the shortest seasons because the really pretty part of autumn where the weather is perfect and all of the leaves are like colorful on the trees and also falling below only lasts for this tiny chunk of the season. And then the rest of the season, at least where I am, you get lots of rain and those beautiful colorful leaves are now all off the trees. So the trees are ugly and bare and those colorful leaves have now turned brown and mushy on the ground from all the rain. So there's just this small window of that beautiful fall season. So I really have to prioritize, what do I want to have done for that golden chunk of fall season that's only going to last like 3 weeks long, to be able to get like pictures and fun outing stuff done with. And then, you know, what else can be held off till next year and I can start sewing for winter. So I was hoping to have more precise ideas for you. But I don't, because again, I have been working on house, which is good. I am also hoping, which I keep saying, but, you know, we live in hope, to start making some everyday clothes for me as well, especially since I'm hoping to start a new job soon. I do worry sometimes about my clothing style. I have changed my clothing style since my big move from Utah to Washington 4 years ago into a clothing style that makes me happy. It is mostly retro inspired from the 1950s and 60s. I do sometimes add touches of both Victorian and Edwardian, and also some modern touches to it. So it's kind of a mishmash of whatever I love. But I have not worn it in a work setting. So, and I know that people are gonna say, you be you, and people just need to accept you and your style. But, you know, new job. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to kind of have some toned down a little bit versions of my favorite outfits, my favorite, you know, the way I wear my clothes, just for the first little while. And then I'll slowly start, you know, here and there, bringing in the clothes I love and just kind of weaning people. Oh, no, means weaning off. Well, maybe weaning people off of the more subtle stuff and introducing them slowly into my more regular attire. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I feel like I need a few more clothing pieces that are slightly less whimsical and a little more mainstream, but in the styles I like. So for example, instead of iridescent butterfly skirt, I have some really lovely, just like pinstriped cottons that would make some great fall skirts. So I can still have my lovely full skirts, but in a print that maybe is a little more toned down for a workplace setting, at least as a new employee. I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for listening to my vlog, everybody. I know it kind of went north, south, east, and west this time. But again, as always, I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you sharing. So always be willing to share in the comments. I want to hear about your projects. I want to hear about if you related to anything I talked about. I want to hear, oh, I don't know. Are you doing any cosplays? What are your, you know, sewing plans? What are you working on? I want to hear from you. I love hearing from people and getting the comments. And anyway, I like it. So you should do that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you potentially Sunday, but at the very least next Wednesday. Okay, bye.